Good morning, students. So today we have lecture number 5. Lecture number 5 on electrostatic potential and capacitor. Electric potential and capacitor. Lecture number 5. Okay. So now in this class we will study about the equipotential surface. Equipotential surface first. So far we have studied about the electric potential, potential difference, and electric potential due to an isolated point charge, electric potential due to a dipole at a general point, and electric potential due to the distribution of charges, that is group of charges, and then we have solved some numericals related to that. So now we shall study about a new concept called equipotential surface. Equipotential surface. In the name only, what is equipotential surface? Equipotential, equal potential surface. Any surface on which potential is same, any surface on which potential is same, that surface can be called as equipotential surface. A surface at every point of which electric potential due to the charge distribution is same. A surface at every point of which the electric potential due to the charge distribution is same, then that surface is called as equipotential surface. Once again I will repeat. A surface at every point of which an equipotential surface is a surface at every point of which the electric potential due to the charge distribution is same, then that surface is called as equipotential surface. Very simple. And equipotential surface can be on the surface of a body. Equipotential surface can be on a surface of a body, or it can be a surface in the space. It can be a surface in the space. An example for just a simple example, the surface of a charged conductor. The surface of a uniformly charged conductor, sphere. The surface of a uniformly charged sphere, that is an equipotential surface. So now, equipotential surface. The formation of equipotential surface depends on the nature of charge distribution. The formation of equipotential surface depends on the charge distribution and also on the medium, type of medium, whether it is isotropic medium or non-isotropic medium. So that is, so now just for simple things, we study the equipotential surface. First, we study equipotential surface due to only one charge, that is one isolated positive charge. So if a isolated positive charge is there, then how the equipotential surface will be? So we know that electric potential due to a positive charge, that is electric potential due to a charge, that we have already studied. Electric potential due to an isolated point charge is given by V is equal to K Q divided by R. K is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon. V is equal to KQ divided by R. So from this we observe that electric potential depends on the distance R. If for the same charge, that is for the given charge, if distance R remains constant, then electric potential will remain constant. So that is, so from this charge, this is a positive plus Q charge. This is a positive plus Q charge. From this charge, if we draw all the points, which are equidistant from the plus Q charge, then all the points will have same potential. All the points will have same potential, and join all the points having the same potential in a region, and that surface, that diagram or that whatever the figure it will be found, that is called as equipotential surface. Simple. So how to form the equipotential surface? Join all the points having the equal potential. All the points which are having the same potential, all that points are joined together, so that will form same surface, and that surface we call as equipotential surface. So it is the equipotential surface because potential at this point, potential at this point will remain same because R is same, Q is also same. So the potential will remain same. And similarly, if you take some other value of R, larger value of R, then at that point also, if you take at this point, here also, the potential at this point, potential at this point, potential at this point, potential at this point will remain same. Potential at this, all these points will remain same. So when you combine all these points, it will form a equipotential surface due to the charge distribution. I will call this as V2. This is V1, this is V2. Here potential is having the same value V1, and here potential is also having same value V2. But on these two, potential is not same. Here the value is different, here the value is different. If we compare these 2 points, potential is different. Here electric potential is different, here electric potential is different. But if we compare all the points which are lying on this spherical sphere or in this circle, so that will be equipotential surface. So this is another equipotential surface, and these straight lines are electric field lines. These are electric field lines. So electric field lines. These are electric field lines. So from this diagram we observe that for a positive test charge, for a positive source charge, equipotential surfaces are concentric spheres. For a plus q charge or minus q charge, only one charge. For only one charge, plus q charge or minus q charge, equipotential surfaces are concentric spherical surfaces. Concentric spherical surfaces with a charge at the center. Equipotential surfaces for an only one charge are concentric spherical surfaces with a charge at the center. So this is equipotential surface, this is also equipotential surface, and this is also equipotential surface. From this diagram we observe that these are electric field lines. These are electric field lines, and these electric field lines are perpendicular to the equipotential surface. Electric field lines are perpendicular to the equipotential surface. Okay, this is due to the one charge. So now, next one. Equipotential surface due to the uniform electric field. Equipotential surface due to the uniform electric field. We know that about electric field in the first chapter only we have studied. We have studied electric field intensity. That is electric field lines. That is imaginary lines used to draw the electric field intensity. So electric field, uniform electric field is given by the parallel lines. Uniform electric field is indicated or represented by the equidistant parallel lines. Equidistant parallel lines. So these lines are indicates uniform electric field. So in this electric field, if you take all the points lying on this surface, it is a surface perpendicular to the electric field lines. Electric field lines are like this, and this surface is like this. Okay, if you take all the points on this surface, all the points on this surface will have the same potential. Will have the same potential. So it is called as a equipotential surface. It is also another equipotential surface. It is also another equipotential surface. So equipotential surface for an uniform electric field. Equipotential surface for an uniform electric field is plane. A plane perpendicular to the direction of the electric field lines. Equipotential surface for an uniform electric field. Equipotential surface for an uniform electric field are plane surfaces. Equipotential surfaces for an uniform electric field are plane surfaces perpendicular to the direction of electric field. This is the direction of electric field, and this is the equipotential surface. So at all these points, the potential is same, V1. At all these points, the potential is same, V2. At all these points, potential is same, V3. But potential at this point and potential at this point will be different. Potential at this point and potential at this point, if we compare, potential will be different. But for all the points lying on this plane will be same. That's why we call it as equipotential surface. This is separate equipotential surface. This also separate equipotential surface. This also. Understood? And this is formed due to a uniform electric field. Understood? So it's like this here also. Same way. So this is a separate electric equipotential surface. This is also equipotential surface. But here and here potential will be different. Similarly, here and here potential will be different. Understood? This is equipotential surfaces due to the uniform electric field. This is equipotential surface due to a isolated charge. Either it is positive charge or negative charge. If it is a negative charge, if it is a negative charge, the diagram will be same. Only electric field lines. Only these electric field lines will be inward. These electric field lines. If it is a negative sign, change this arrow mark. Change this arrow mark. So that will be the diagram for equipotential surface of a negative charge. Understood? Isolated negative charge. So this is for a uniform electric field. Okay. So now this one, third one. Third one, equipotential surface. Part 2, equal and opposite charges. So this one is positive charge, another one is negative charge. One is positive charge, another one is negative charge, like electric dipole. Two equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance, and now draw the equipotential surface. So we know that this diagram is full lines. All these full lines indicate the electric field lines that we have already studied in the first chapter. Electric field intensity and Coulomb's law. In that chapter only we have drawn this diagrams of this full lines. All these complete full lines indicates the electric field lines or electric field, and this dotted line indicates the equipotential surfaces. See here. So for a two equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance, equipotential surfaces are like this. So from this diagram we observe that equipotential surfaces are closer. Equipotential surfaces are closer in between the charges. Equipotential surfaces are closer, nearer in between the charges, and equipotential surfaces are far away, outside the charges. Outside the charges. Here distance is more. Here distance is less. Here distance between these two equipotential surfaces is less. Here distance between equipotential surfaces is more. Here distance between the equipotential surfaces is less. Here distance is more. So it is how we have to draw the diagram. In the exam if they ask, draw the equipotential surface for two equal and opposite charges. So this is how. So the equipotential surfaces. All these dotted lines. All the dotted lines indicates the equipotential surfaces. And all the full lines, complete lines with arrow mark, that are the electric field lines. Electric field lines. Understood? So for an equal and opposite charges, equipotential surfaces are closer. Equipotential surfaces are closer in between the charges, and they are far away. They are distant, little bit more distance away from the charge or outside the charge. Okay, that is for two equal and opposite charges. Fourth one. Equipotential surfaces for two identical charges, that is two positive charges or two negative charges. I'll draw the diagram for positive charges. Negative charges you only can draw, only just change the sign. So for the positive charges, two equal positive charges, this charge and this charge is positive and also equal. Positive and also equal. So now here you observe that. So these full lines, these complete lines with arrow mark indicates the electric field lines. Electric field lines. Whereas these dotted lines, the dotted line indicates the equipotential surfaces. So for two charges, two equal charges, the equipotential surfaces are far away in between the charges. The equipotential surfaces are far away in between the charges, whereas they are closer to each other, away from the charges. That is outward the charges, not in between, outward the charges. Their equipotential surfaces are closer, but in between the charges, equipotential surface, the distance between the equipotential surface is more. Understood the diagram? This is equipotential surface for two similar charges. This is equipotential surface for two equal and opposite charges. This is equipotential surface for uniform electric field. This is equipotential surface for an isolated point charge. Isolated positive charge or negative charge. Got the idea? Once again I will repeat. Equipotential surface. Equipotential surface. Equipotential surface. It is a surface at every point of which electric potential due to the charge distribution is same. A surface at every point of which electric potential due to the charge distribution is same. That surface we call an equipotential surface. Understood? So now these are the diagrams for equipotential surface due to only single charge. This is equipotential surface due to uniform electric field. This is equipotential surface due to two equal and opposite charges. This is due to the two equal charges. Understood? Understand the diagram? Understand the diagram? In all these three diagrams, the dotted line indicates the equipotential surface. In all these three diagrams, the dotted line indicates the equipotential surface. In this diagram, this plane perpendicular to the direction of electric field. The plane perpendicular to the direction of electric field is equipotential surface. Understood? What idea? You understood? So this is about equipotential surface. So now this what is the use of this equipotential surfaces are just used to indicate the potential. That is these are all the reason having the same potential. To indicate that we can draw this equipotential surface, and also equipotential surfaces gives the direction and magnitude of the electric field. The equipotential surfaces are drawn to indicate, you can say, to indicate the direction and magnitude of the electric field. Electric field, yes. Equipotential surfaces are drawn to indicate the direction and magnitude of the electric field. Let us see how that is in this thing. So if you see here, electric field, that is equipotential surfaces are drawn like this, and this indicates that these the lines drawn perpendicular to the equipotential surface, that is the direction of electric field. The line drawn perpendicular to the equipotential surface, that will be the direction of electric field, and electric field will be perpendicular to the direction of equipotential surface. So here also same. Electric field is perpendicular to the equipotential surface. This is direction. How magnitude? See here equipotential surfaces are closer. In this diagram, here equipotential surfaces are closer in between the charges, whereas far away outside the charges. So this indicates that if the equipotential surfaces are closer, that means electric field is strong. If the equipotential surfaces are closer, that means electric field intensity is strong. That is, electric field intensity is more. And here, the equipotential surfaces are away. That is, distance between the surfaces is more. That means here electric field intensity is less. There electric field intensity is less. Here also electric field intensity is less. But in between these two, electric field intensity is more. Because equipotential surfaces are closer to each other. See here also. So here we observe that here equipotential surfaces are closer outside the charges. Equipotential surfaces are closer outside the charges, whereas they are little bit distance apart in between the charges. So their distance is more. So that indicates that here electric field is weak. The magnitude of the electric field is less, and here magnitude of the electric field is more. Here magnitude of the electric field is more, whereas here resultant electric field here is less. So that is the use of, or what are the main point of drawing this equipotential surface is that the equipotential surfaces can be used to indicate the direction and magnitude of the electric field intensity. Understood? So now let us study the properties of equipotential surface. These are very important. Properties of equipotential surface, very important. This equipotential surface, many times they are asked in the theory exam. Properties. See here, this concept, equipotential surface, they will ask for 2 or 3 marks, and many times if you open the old question papers, you will see that Many times they have asked the questions related to equipotential surface. So now, properties of equipotential surface. Simple. First one, electric potential difference. Electric potential difference between the 2 points on an equipotential surface is 0. First property, electric potential difference. Electric potential difference between the 2 points on an equipotential surface is 0. Why? Because potential is same. If you take potential at this point, potential at this point, potential at these points is same. If you take potential difference between these 2 points, here is potential is same, here also potential is same. So if you take the potential difference, that is dV, is equal to V minus V. So potential at this point is V, potential at this point is also V, V minus V comes out with 0. It is electric potential difference between the 2 points on an equipotential surface is 0. Understood? That is the first property. Second one, no work is done. No work is done in moving a charge. No work is done in moving a charge from one point to another point on an equipotential surface. This is the second property. No work is done. No work is done in moving a charge from one point to another point on an equipotential surface. Or work done in moving a charge from one point to another point on an equipotential surface is 0. The work done in moving a charge. The work done in moving a charge from one point to another point on an equipotential surface is 0. The work done in moving a charge from one point to another point on an equipotential surface is 0. How? See here. Work done is equal to, already we have studied in the first lecture only. It is work done is equal to charge into potential difference. Work done is equal to charge into potential difference. Correct? Work done to move a charge is given by work done is equal to charge into potential difference. So now potential difference, work done to move a charge on an equipotential surface. On an equipotential surface, potential difference is 0. So charge into 0. So you get 0. So work done in moving a charge on an equipotential surface is 0. Understood? First property is that properties of equipotential surface are telling. First property is electric potential between the 2 points. Electric potential between the 2 points on an equipotential surface is electric potential difference. Electric potential difference between the 2 points on an equipotential surface is 0. That is first property. And second property is work done in moving a charge from one point to another point on an equipotential surface is 0. Work done in moving a charge from one point to another point on an equipotential surface is 0. So now third property. Third one, electric field intensity. Electric field intensity is perpendicular to the equipotential surface. Our equipotential surfaces are perpendicular to the direction of electric field intensity. Third one, equipotential surfaces are perpendicular to the direction of electric field intensity. Equipotential surfaces are perpendicular to the direction of electric field intensity. Understood? Equipotential surfaces are perpendicular to the direction of electric field intensity. Fourth one, two equipotential surface cannot intersect each other. Two equipotential surface does not intersect each other. Two equipotential surface does not intersect each other. So that is, they will be separate. This equipotential surface here anywhere. So dotted lines are not intersecting each other. The dotted line indicates the equipotential surface and they will not intersect each other. If they intersect each other, if two equipotential surface intersect each other, then there will be two values of electric potential. Then at that point, at the point of intersection, there will be two values of electric potential, which is not possible. So that's why the two equipotential surface does not intersect each other. Understood? So these are the some properties of equipotential surface. Write the properties of equipotential surface. First one. Four properties. So further you can write if you want one more perpendicular to the equipotential surface. Electric field lines are always perpendicular to the equipotential surface. Electric field lines are always perpendicular to the equipotential surface. The electric field lines are perpendicular to the equipotential surface. So these are the some properties of equipotential surface. Remember that this one is very important. This one, the work done in moving a charge from one point to another point on an equipotential surface is 0. That means if a charge, a test charge or whatever the charge is moving in a circular path, around a charge, around a source charge, then work done in moving this charge, will be 0. Work done in moving this charge will be 0. Did you got the idea? Can you imagine such kind of situation? Okay, imagine yourself in some other part of the physics. Here a charge is moving in the circular path around a source charge. Then work done in moving this test charge from one point to another point will be 0. What are you? So this is about equipotential surface. So now, next concept is study about relation between electric potential and electric field intensity. Relation between electric potential and electric field intensity. Relation between electric potential and electric field intensity. This is very important. 3 marks or 2 marks they ask many times. For 3 marks or 2 marks in the theory exam they asked many times. Relation between we have to derive a relation between electric potential and electric field intensity. So now, for that consider a source charge. Plus Q placed at a point O. Consider a source charge plus Q placed at a point O. Let A and B be the 2 points in the electric field of this source charge. Let A and B be the 2 points in the electric field of this source charge, and these 2 points are very close to each other. Let A and B be the 2 points in the electric field of a source charge plus Q situated at the point O. These 2 points A and B are very close to each other. These 2 points A and B are very close to each other such that the electric field at both the point is almost considered to be constant. Electric field between these 2 points is almost considered to be constant. So now a test charge is placed at the point A. A test charge is placed at the point A. Did you understood? I am deriving relation between electric potential and electric field intensity. So let us consider 2 points A and B. Let us consider 2 points A and B in the electric field of a source charge plus Q, and these 2 points A and B are very close to each other such that the electric field intensity is almost same at the points A and B. Let Q not be the test charge placed at the point A. This Q naught will experience as a electrostatic force. The Q naught will experience as a electrostatic force that is given by vector F is equal to vector E into Q naught. This charge Q naught will experience as a electrostatic force. Vector F is equal to vector E into Q naught. This force makes the charge to move away from the source charge, that is plus Q charge. So that is repulsive force, because this test charge is also positive, this is also positive, repulsive force. So now the work done to move the test charge, through a distance dr, the work done to move the charge through a distance dr is given by the work done to move the charge through a distance dr is given by dw is equal to f e dot dr. dw is equal to f dot dr. The work done to move the test charge through a distance dr. Dr is the distance between the points A and B. Small distance. A and B are very close to each other. So dr is very small distance. So f dot dr. So that is f is nothing but vector E. Q naught vector E dot dr. Q naught vector E dot dr. So now you can write dw is equal to Q naught vector E dot dr. What is the direction of the electric field? For it to be a plus Q charge, the direction of the electric field is outward. That is the direction of the electric field, right? So that is the direction of the electric field. This is the direction of the electric field, and this is the direction of the displacement. Displacement dr is in this direction and electric field is in this direction. Then what is the angle between electric field and dr? What is the angle between electric field and dr? The angle between electric field and dr will be 180 degree, right? So you can write Q naught E dr into cos of 180 degree. So that will come to be dw is equal to cos of 180 degrees minus 1 minus Q naught E dr minus Q naught E dr. Call this is equation number 1. What we got? This is work done in moving a charge Q naught from A to B. Work done in moving a charge Q naught from A to B through a small distance dr. Right? So now according to the definition of potential difference, according to definition or statement of potential difference. So we have already defined the potential difference in the first class only. This is already did in the first class indirectly. I did all these things in the first class only. Okay. According to the definition of potential difference, it is potential difference. First I will tell the definition. It is which I told in the first period. So potential difference between the 2 points. The potential difference between the 2 points is defined as the ratio of work done in moving a charge. Ratio of work done in moving a charge from one point to another point to the magnitude of the charge. The ratio of work done to move a charge from one point to another point to the magnitude of charge. That is potential difference. PD. That I will write it as dV. We write it as dV or delta V. We can write it as delta V, or we can also write it as dV. For small values we use the word dV. dV is equal to, that is according to the definition, potential difference between the 2 points is defined as the ratio of work done to move the charge from one point to another point to the magnitude of the charge. That is dV is equal to dW divided by Q naught. That is according to the definition. So therefore dV is equal to dW, work done to move the charge from one point to another point. Work done to move the charge from one point to another point, from point A to B. Work done to move the charge from point A to B through a distance dr. We have already calculated. dW is equal to minus Q naught E dr. Substitute this value equation 1 in this one. Substitute the value of equation 1 here. So dV is equal to minus Q naught E dr divided by Q naught. This Q naught. dV is equal to minus Q naught E dr divided by Q naught. Now Q naught square. Cancel. So dV is equal to minus E dr. dV is equal to minus E dr, or E is equal to, or you can write E is equal to minus dV divided by dr. E is equal to minus dV divided by dr. So this is the relation between electric field intensity and electric potential. This is the relation between electric field intensity and electric potential. Understood? Simple. 2 or 3 marks they will ask. Just you have to do this much of mathematics. Understood? Very simple. I have considered 2 points A and B in an electric field of the charge plus Q, right? And these 2 points are very close to each other, such that electric field is almost same. So now a test charge is there at the point Q0. So that test charge will experience a force outward. So now we want to move that test charge towards the point D. The work done to move the test charge to a small distance dr, is done by dW is equal to F dot dr. dW is equal to F dot dr. So now F, that is electrostatic force, that is Q naught into E. Dot dr. And now we observe that the angle between electric field intensity and dr. Electric field intensity is in this direction and displacement is in this direction. So angle between them is 180 degree. So that dot product. This is nothing but dot product. Dot product means different cos of angle between the 2 vectors. This is a vector, this is a vector. Cos of angle between these 2 vectors is 180 degree. So cos of 180 degree is minus. So minus Q naught E dr. dW is equal to minus Q naught E dr, which we have already written in the okay. So now call this as equation number 1. Now according to the definition of potential difference, that we have defined potential difference between the 2 points is defined as a ratio of work done to move the charge from one point to another point to the magnitude of the charge. That is dV is equal to dW divided by Q naught. Now substitute equation 1. Substitute equation 1 in this equation, then you will get dV is equal to, instead of dW, substitute this value minus Q naught E dr divided by Q naught. This Q naught. So Q naught cancel. So dV is equal to minus E dr or E is equal to minus dV divided by dr. So this is called as a relation between electric field intensity and potential difference. This is called a relation between electric field intensity and potential difference. Okay, now my important point is what does this negative sign? There is a negative sign. It is coming through the derivation only. It is coming. I did not put it. It came during the derivation only. What does that negative sign indicates? The negative sign indicates that electric field intensity is in the direction of decreasing electric potential. The negative sign indicates that the electric field intensity is in the direction of decreasing electric potential. So in which direction the electric potential is decreasing? If it say here electric potential is certain value, here electric potential is less, here also electric potential is still less, then electric field intensity will be in the direction of decreasing potential. Did you got the idea? The direction of the electric field intensity is in the direction of decreasing potential. That is what this negative sign indicates. Or negative sign indicates that the change in potential per unit displacement, the change in electric potential per unit displacement is opposite to the direction of electric potential. The change in electric potential per unit displacement is opposite to the direction of electric field. This also they have asked. In the theory exam, they have asked what does the negative sign indicates. See your question. Derive the relation between electric potential and electric field intensity, and what does the negative sign indicates. That we have to mention properly. Negative sign indicates that the electric field intensity is in the direction of decreasing electric potential. Okay. So now here we got a new concept. Here from this formula we observe this one. This term so far we did not come across. dV divided by dr. dV is nothing but change in potential. Here is displacement. Change in potential per displacement. That is potential per unit displacement. That is called as potential gradient. It is called as potential gradient. dV by dr is called as potential gradient. Remember that? It is called as potential gradient. dV by dr is called as potential gradient. Okay. Now we can write another definition for electric field intensity. Electric field intensity. We can write another definition for electric field intensity by using this formula. Electric field intensity is defined as the negative potential gradient. Electric field intensity is defined as the negative potential gradient. Electric field intensity is defined as a negative potential gradient. Another definition for electric field intensity. Definitions you can make. Okay. So now let us observe this point a little bit more. See here, just now we have drawn a diagram of equipotential surface due to the uniform electric field like this. So that is just what we have drawn here. Here only we have drawn. I'll redraw that one. Just for your understanding. So now this is a equipotential surface. This is also a equipotential surface. This is also an equipotential surface. And this is the direction of the electric field. This is the direction of the electric field. This is V1, this is V2, this is V3. Right? So now they have asked you one question. See here only you can make the question. Out of this V1, V2, V3, which is larger or which is smaller? V1, V2, V3. V1 is potential on this surface. At every point of this surface, potential is V1. At every point of this surface, potential is V2. At every point of this surface, the potential is V3. V1, V2, V3. Out of these three, which one is stronger or which potential is more or which potential is less? Can you tell? Think about that. Can you tell? Which one is stronger or which one is weaker or all the three are equal? This was a CET question. You asked, just now I told that the negative sign indicates that the direction of electric field intensity is in the direction of decreasing potential. The direction of electric field intensity is in the direction of decreasing potential. That is what this negative sign indicates. So this is the direction of electric field intensity. That means in this direction electric potential is decreasing. In this direction, electric potential is decreasing. Here potential is more. Here potential is less. Here potential is still less. That means V1 is larger than V2. V2 is larger than V3. Understood? That is from this negative sign only. Simple. Did you got that here? Did you understood? This is the equipotential surface. This is also equipotential surface. This is also equipotential surface. Out of these three, which is more potential, which has the more potential and which has the less potential? This one has the more potential and this one has the less potential. Understood? Okay. So from that only, another diagram. Just now we have seen due to the plus Q charge. It is like this. It is like this. We have seen. Yes. This is the direction of the electric field intensity. And now this is a equipotential surface. This is a equipotential surface V1. This is a equipotential surface V2. Right? This is a equipotential surface V3. Now among these V1, V2, V3, which is stronger? Which has more potential? Which has more potential? See the direction of the electric field. The direction of the electric field due to a positive charge is outward. Due to a positive charge, outward. So this is the direction of the electric field and electric potential decreases in the direction of electric field. So this is less potential. V3 is less compared to V2 and V1 is more. V1 is having more potential compared to V2 and V3. Understood? That is by using this negative sign only. This is the relation between electric potential and electric field intensity. Or you can say how to calculate electric field intensity by using electric potential. How to calculate electric field intensity by using electric potential. That is also by using this formula. This formula I will write like this. Vector E is equal to minus dV divided by dr. Right? Vector E is equal to dV divided by dr. This one only I will write like this. Vector E is equal to minus dou V divided by dou x r cap minus dou V divided by dou y j cap minus dou V divided by dou z k cap. What is this? This is simple. So now dou V divided by dou x, dou V divided by dou x, that is minus dou V divided by dou x is nothing but Ex. Understood? Minus dou V divided by dou y, dou V divided by dou y, that is nothing but Ey, and minus dou V divided by dou z, that is nothing but Ez. So therefore electric field intensity vector E is equal to, that is Ex I cap plus Ey j cap plus Ez k cap. This is how we will write. This is a vector quantity. Electric field intensity is a vector quantity. You can explaining it in a coordinate system. I cap j cap k cap. Then you get the formula like this. So you can write like this. Understood? This simple way of writing. So this is electric field intensity, component of the electric field intensity along x-axis. This is component of the electric field intensity along y-axis. This is electric field intensity along z-axis. This is how you can calculate electric field intensity if you know the electric potential. If you know the electric potential. And now my reverse question: if you know the electric potential, can you calculate electric field intensity? Yes. You can calculate electric field intensity. I will show just I am playing with all these things. I am not doing anything. I am just playing with all these equations. So now we have got the formula E is equal to minus dV divided by dr, right? So we can write it as dV is equal to minus A dr. dV is equal to minus A dr. So now integrate this equation. Integration of dV from V1 to V2 is equal to integration E dr from R1 to R2. I'll tell what are V1, V2. Okay, just dV is equal to minus E dr. Now I am integrating on both sides. So here I am integrating from V1 to V2, initial to final potential. So this is R1 to E dr. So now if you integrate this one, so you get V2 minus V1. That is after integration of dV is V, and substitute the limits, upper limit minus lower limit, V2 minus V2 is equal to minus integration R1 to R2 E dr, right? So I can write it as vector E dot dr, right? So now what is V1? V1 is the electric potential at a point, at a distance R1. V1 is the electric potential at a distance R1. What is V2? V2 is the electric potential at a distance R2. This is not this one. This is not this one. V2 is the electric potential at a distance R2. V2 is the electric potential at a distance R2. V1 is the electric potential at a distance R1. V2 minus V1 is nothing but potential difference. V2 minus V1 is nothing but potential difference. Understood? Potential difference. So that is a charge is moved from one point to another point V1 to V2. Then potential difference final minus initial V2 minus V1 is equal to. So this is how we can calculate. Or if we take R1 is at infinity, and R2 is at a distance R, then R1 is infinity. If R1 is at infinity, then V1 will be equal to 0, because at infinite distance, this is all the things I have told in the first class only. So remember one point I would like to tell you people. My first video of this chapter, observe it carefully another time. 2-3 times you can see that video. That is more important concept I have explained over there. Here, if R1 is at infinity, that is distance, that is infinite distance point. R1 point is, that is point infinite distance, then V1 should be equal to 0. Electric potential at infinite is 0. Then R2 is equal to R, then V2 can be written as V. So then we can write V minus 0 is equal to integration from infinity to R vector E dot dr. So that is nothing but V is equal to integration of vector E dot dr infinity to R. This already I have told in the first class only. In the first period only we have completed this one. This formula. I think I have written this formula as VB. I remember VB is equal to, we have taken VA. This is VA and VA we have taken it to the infinity and the test charge is moved from infinity to the point B. Then VA becomes 0. VA becomes 0 because the first point is at infinity. Then VB is equal to like this we can get. Understood? That is was in the first period. Okay? So this is relation between electric potential and electric field intensity. By using this formula, you can calculate the electric potential if the electric field intensity is known. By using this formula, you can calculate the electric potential if electric field intensity is known. And also you can calculate electric field intensity if electric potential is known. Just now I told. So this is okay. We shall stop here, and in the next class I will continue with next some more theory part, another one lecture theory part, and after that we will solve some numericals related to this relation between electric potential and electric potential and some other concepts.